Effectiveness of Touch Math, a research proposal by Gabe Nicola. My problem statement is students are experiencing a negative affect towards a multisensory based math curriculum called Touch Math. Students are struggling to understand the concepts it is designed to teach. So, what is Touch Math? This is the basic framework behind Touch Math. Students are supposed to touch these dots as they count, and it's able to incorporate gestures and sometimes verbal um, into math, and it can help kids who are having trouble. So, Touch Math is a curriculum that is widely used to teach the values of numbers, the abstract concept that a number um, represents something. So, Touch Math is also a company. Touch Math is a company that sells their curriculum through districts to parents that are homeschooling, really to anyone looking for curriculum. And you can find all of this information online on their website if you want to buy their curriculum. And and teachers might ask for it. They might ask their principal or they might ask their district to provide Touch Math, and then their district would buy it for them, and then they could have it in the classroom. So why would I want to do this proposal? From my own experience, seeing Touch Math um, in use in the classroom, using Touch Math to teach the students that I work with, who are life skills K through 5. I noticed that they really didn't like it, and the teachers, the instructors, the EAs, also didn't like using it. And I thought, well, there must be a better solution out there, and that was kind of the impetus was behind um, this proposal. So in the literature, Touch Math, specifically, most of the Touch Math articles can be found in Touch Math's own journal on their website. So if you want to find specifics about Touch Math, you can't really go anywhere but the Touch Math site. Um, Touch Math claims that it's effective for students with disabilities. It's effective for teaching addition and subtraction to kids with autism. Touch Math is also better than the traditional intervention. And so um, I started questioning the validity of this journal because um, Touch Math just seemed inherently biased on their own product, and they weren't publishing anything that was negative. So I started searching for mm, possible holes or validity integrity problems. So this one, although they were proponents of Touch Math, they still said that multisensory techniques were basically the whole reason why Touch Math is working, and that anything multisensory would have worked better than traditional means. This one said that if maybe they would have tried something different, who knows, Touch Math, because all of the articles that I have were either saying that Touch Math was effective versus traditional intervention, which means textbook or pen and paper, that type of thing, non gesture, non engaging curriculum. So, and then also conclusions were pretty much forgone in about in a few of the articles, which was really weird, and they use a lot of biased language. The only direct comparison that they had on their site was between a number line strategy in Touch Math, and number lines, if you remember from your own elementary school, they're not super exciting, they're not engaging. Most people say that they're not even really gesture because you don't have to touch them to use them. Um, so they said that they were marginally more effective than a number line strategy. But if you go outside of the touch math world, there's a lot of research on gesture and multisensory stuff and how it is effective, which isn't really in question here. It's whether touch math is more effective than something else. So there was kind of a landmark study in '73 showing that um, like public speakers using hand gestures, it made them better at their jobs. They were able to reduce their cognitive load while speaking, which is pretty demanding. And then they were using hand gestures not as a means of communication, not as a nonverbal communication. But they were using these hand gestures just to reduce a cognitive load, just as like a mental trick, and it worked. So there was a lot of studies done that followed that. 2001, um, Golden Meadows said pretty much the same thing, but this time in regards to math and elementary math. So gesture lightens the load. Basically, they incorporated gesture into learning math and found that it was more effective than non-gesture. And then more of the same. Um, Basically, the more multisensory something is, the better it is, especially for younger kids that are just learning something. Especially if they're just learning something and they're struggling. Um, this one right here was a focus for K through 3, which I picked because Touch Math is K through 2, so it was pretty closely aligned. And none of these ever mentioned Touch Math, and Touch Math has been around for pretty much all of these studies, and they never mentioned Touch Math, which I thought was interesting. This one right here, this is a study, or it was a two group or four group pre-post test um, methods, Touch Math versus the California like common traditional Common Core like traditional intervention, and Touch Math was found marginally more effective than the Common Core stuff, and it was pretty in depth, and it was similar to what I could be doing, and um, it was interesting. This one said a similar thing, that